Scandal on Barry Charles Footy Show tonight. Yes, absolutely pandemonium. Brandon Smith, should he be out the riggers and out of the NRL altogether? Drugs and betting scandal, all alive. And will the NRL do anything about it if proven guilty? Hell no! We can go back in history. Andrew Jones, Valentine Holmes, Cam Munster, Reece Walsh, Jesse Bromwich. The list just goes on and on and on. Some proven, some not. They get a little slap on the wrist and they can continue to play. Drugs is in the NRL and they're not doing anything about it. And it's been going on with Brett Stewart as well back in the day. It's been happening the whole time. And now, allegedly, Victor Radley's in on it. What is happening with rugby league? The Roosters, they know more about it than what meets the eye. We'll talk about that right here, right now on Barry Charles Footy Show. And also, Des Hasler out the door. See you later. Was it the right move from the Titans, or the Titans are rubble and need to go on? And to finish this video, the Warriors can win the comp, folks. Yes, it doesn't look like it right now, but if they can hit form in the next 2 weeks, look our Raiders, because the Warriors are coming for you when first, fourth. If the Warriors get there, we'll find it right here. We're talking about it all right here on Barry Charles Footy Show. Let's get it on. Yes, welcome back, guys and gals. What a day of news for rugby league yesterday. Unbelievable scenes here. Brandon Smith, wow. Roll the tape. Yes, and Brandon Smith, let's go through it all. All the stuff, all the boots. Let's get through it. First of all, drugs. Yes, he was supplying drugs to Roosters players, including Victor Radley. This is what's been alleged. But who else is there? Is Tedesco involved? How high does this go? Where's the ceiling? Who are the players that are on their golf trip? That's what people want to know. Who were the 7 or 8 players that were there? Connor Watson, he's been in trouble before in the past. Was he potentially there? I'm just putting names out there. This is all legend. No proof to it or anything. I'm just saying, if these players are involved, look out, big ramifications here. Then you got the betting scandal with him letting a drug dealer know that Latrell Mitchell was playing. He was playing in his first game back. And they put bets on. Wow, that's big things. And we know what happened in the past with, someone from the West Tigers. Simona got done for this, for betting. Well, he did the betting himself. This is a little bit different, but same thing. Will they ban him for a year or two, Brandon Smith? Time will find out. But there was an underlying issue while there's also, you got players. He was getting money off players to fund his drug abuse, his betting issues. Now, I believe this goes further into the family situation. The same thing is happening with family members, asking them for money, not being able to pay them back. And I've heard even worse things, potential for abuse, but not proven. But if that was the case, this man is very troubled and he needs to remove himself from... Well, obviously he's playing the game because he needs the money for his addictions and all this, if this is what's happening to this guy. But he needs to come out and own it and say, yes, I did it. But no doubt he'll go down the no guilty path and we will see where that leads to. But if he's actually done it, admit it, get on with it. Fix yourself, buddy. Real. But yes, I'm also hearing the Roosters knew about it. That's what I'm hearing, and that's why they got rid of him. They just kept it quiet. They was like, we got to get him out of here before the scandal goes berserk. That's why they were quickly to push him out the door. This was one of the reasons for the move, to rush the move when it looked like there wasn't going to be any movement. This is what I'm hearing. Believe it if you will, but some of the officials at the Roosters knew about it and did not say anything and just tried to get him out the door before the scandal hit the books. So let's just hypothetically say he's not guilty. Then where's this all coming from? But there's been plenty of times when people are not guilty, they just haven't got enough evidence to prove that they're not guilty. But if he is guilty, do you throw the book? He can't play again. People are saying it's too hard. They've got to make a line in the stand with these players. They've got to take a year off. If they're caught, I don't care if it's off in the off season. I mean, look at Ben Barber, he got caught in the off season as well. I remember a lot of these players get caught in the off season. That means they don't drug test during the season. They say they do, but it's a whole lot of rubbish. They barely test, and they probably just test the lower grade players, not the guns. And they know there's issue with drugs in the game, but they do nothing about it. But that's what, yeah. But to me, there's some bigger news down the track with this Brandon Smith story. It's just ridiculous. Shouldn't be happening. Yes, and with the Roosters players are involved, and yeah, this is what I mean. I know it's all rife in society, but they've got to make a stand. They talk about domestic abuse and that, but drugs lead to domestic abuse and all this shit, and financial hardship and all this for some players. And drugs can take over their lives, and it looks like with Brandon Smith, it looks potentially that has happened, and very sad. Yes, let's go to Desi Hasler. He got the hoof. He got the boots. Where does he end up? Is it a coaching career over? I don't think so. I think his move could be very shortly. I don't know if they will go down that track. They tried to go down that track a few years ago, but will they make the move now? Desi Hasler to the Knights. This is the only team right here, right now, outside of Manly, but Manly won't go there unless you got rid of the CEO and brought him back. But Adam O'Brien is on the brink of getting sacked. Well, they missed out on Josh Hannay. It depends on if they believe Dean Young or a player or the Blake Greens of this world can deliver what they want, or they think Des Hasler is the right option. What he was trying to do at the Titans and bring it to the Knights, but give him a bit more conviction. Will it happen? I don't know. The question mark whether Des Hasler's old school approach just doesn't work in this day and age of corporate governance, where you got to be accountable. I mean, not accountable, but I mean you got to be more open about everything. So there's question marks over if this is the last hurrah for Des Hasler. But what about Gold Coast? They've signed Josh Hannay, they've joined Scott Sattler in the general manager role. Is it enough? They've got to look at the schools. They've got to figure out how they get all the top school kids to play for Gold Coast, not go to the Broncos, go to South Sydney and the likes. They need to find a way to get through on that thing. But Josh Hannay has to find the identity of the club and get rid of the riffraff. And that's in this administration place as well as on the field. And is Tino the right captain? He's a great player, but is he the right captain for the club? Because when he talks about having committed to the Titans, but he's got get-out clauses here, left, right, and centre, is he really that committed? Is he just here for the payday? He's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's a very great player, but there is an element to he wouldn't get paid like this somewhere else, apart from maybe Perth. Bribson, Campbell, do one of them need to go? One or the other? Because there's just too many playmakers. If you think Kinney's the man, you need to look at who's going to be 6 and 7. The talk is they put Bribson at 6 and Campbell at 7. I don't think they work. To me, they're both 6s. You've got to decide who you want. The other one's got to go. I mean, AJ Bribson is a good Mr. Fixer, yes, but if he's lost the fullback spot, even though there's question mark, you could say he might go to fullback, but they put a big deal. Kenny, it's going to be interesting how that all works, how Josh Hannay works around there. Because Gold Coast Titans, ever since their existence, apart from I think one finals appearance, it had just been a rubble. They have not been able to get the right players to go there. They've paid overs for players to go there, and it just hasn't worked. Can they find the recipe to get it done? That's what Josh Hannay's next move has got to be. We will see. But Desi to the Knights, so see you later. But yeah, to me, this is the big one. The Warriors. Yes, the Warriors. The Roosters, all the talk was the Roosters can win the comp while they was blowing out of the water last week. Can the Warriors make a statement by beating Parramatta? Parramatta are in form. They are a little bit rocks and diamonds at the moment. But if the Warriors can demolish in Parramatta, demolish in Manly, they can win it all. Now, yes, they got a softer draw than others, but at the end of the day, Parramatta are actually playing pretty good, and Manly at home in their final DCE game are going to probably get up for it. So if the Warriors can beat both these teams, look out, the competition. I know Raiders and Storm right now, that would be pretty much, now Penrith have gone backwards, that'll be the grand final. At the moment, that would be the grand final. But who can lift? That's the question mark. Raiders and Storm. Now, Raiders, have they hit their ceiling? That's the question mark. Will they be able to go to another level in the finals? There is debate around whether the Raiders can go to another level. But is their level good enough? Potentially, yes. The Storm can definitely go to another level, and they got now in Nelson Solomona. So for Solomona waiting in the wing, bring him in, bring Jerome Hughes in. They have the biggest gear, I think, in the comp. But it could be a messy way of trying to get everyone in, and it might, the flow of the team might struggle with the lane inclusions and that. The Bulldogs at third absolutely can win the comp, but Lachlan Galvin has to be the man. Matt Burton's doing his job. Everyone else around him's doing his job. Lachlan Galvin needs to be the man, and obviously the props need to deliver as well. But Lachlan Galvin needs to go to the next level. If he doesn't go to the next level, the Bulldogs won't win the comp. The Warriors, exactly the same. The halves. Harris DeVita, he's played solid, but he needs to go to another level. And Tanner Boyd needs to go to another level. The goal kicking's there, but that's the question mark. And for me, for the Warriors, Nia Kore, Jackson Ford, they're experienced players. They need to go to another level and help out James Fisher-Harris. The young guys are doing their best, but it's been a long season for them. Jackson Ford and Nia Kore need to go to another level if the Warriors are a chance to win this comp. They've got the potential to go up. You look at the fifth, let's look at the rest of the teams. The Sharks won't hit another level. They've never proven they can go to another level in the finals, and they could falter in the first round. The only thing that can save the Sharks right now is they finish fourth, and that gives them a chance at a home semi in the second round. That's where the Sharks' best thing. If the Sharks have to do or die, they could be gone first round if they have to play the Roosters or Penrith. So that's where I see the Sharkies. So I don't think they can win the comp. The Broncos potentially can win the comp. They could go to another level in the finals. There's no doubt about it. But to me, the defense is not good enough to win the premiership, and that's why I'm saying they can't win it. But they definitely can attack their way to a premiership. If they can do that, then maybe they can do it. But again, they're a better chance of them in the top four. The Panthers, I think they're just running out of puff. They're trying to rest players now. If that is the case, we're going to find out later today. But if they're sort of giving up on their season, they're trying to rest players now. Rest players in the small. And then who do you play? Who are they going to play? If say they lose one more game, they're pretty much going to come 7th. That's where they're at. They'll come 7th. Who do they play? Who do they want to play? Do you want to play the Warriors in New Zealand? Do you want to play do you want to play Broncos or the Sharks? I think they want to play the Sharks mostly, but maybe the Warriors as well. Broncos probably the least of those on their list. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting times there how that moves forward here. But the Warriors could go to another level. But if you were going to say it'd be fair dinkum right now who wins the comp, I'm still thinking the Storm. I just think they got the experience and they got them all. But the Raiders are definitely there. Those are the top two. They're the top-notch teams. There's no doubt about it. Then underneath them is, I think there's 6, but I just don't think they can come from outside the top 4 to win. But if the Broncos can somehow get into the top 4, or the Panthers could somehow get into the top 4, but they're blowing their chances, I think they could win it. And then you got the Warriors and Bulldogs. I think those are the 6. Sharks, not going to win. I honestly, if they come 5th, yes, they can beat 8th. No doubt about that. But they won't win after that. They need to come 4th, the Sharks. And it all depends on the Warriors, how they finish the season. The Warriors, but again, the question mark for the Warriors, are they struggling because they can't rest players as well? I think they will bite the bullet. If they win this week against Parramatta, they might bite the bullet and rest players and maybe ruin their top 4 chance. But if they know, let's just think, say Penrith lose, the Warriors know they can come 6th, their worst after the weekend. I think they'll rest Gallux. Aaron Clark, Chance probably had some injuries. He could deserve another rest. Roger. And the young guns, like the Lickers and the young forwards, get that rest that they need. Get them ready. QK Wells had a big year. Have them all fit and firing for the finals. This is where the Warriors may have to go. Whether or not they go down that path, I'm not sure. But yeah, it all may depend on how, if they lose to Parramatta, they probably have to play their players. It's going to be a very interesting times how that all works. But really, you want to get top 4, don't you? And maybe somehow they can beat the Raiders in Canberra, if it's not the Storm, because those are the two fighting for the top. But anyway, that's Barry Charles Footy Show for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.